Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, today what I want to do is I want to talk about what you should do when you find out that one of your coworkers is leaving. And I'm not just talking about a coworker you can stand. I'm talking about a coworker that that you would talk to from time to time. Maybe you were in the same training class as that person. Maybe y'all just like talked, and things, and you got along with that person. And I'm talking about what you should do when you find out that that person is leaving. Okay, so I'm not talking about somebody you can't stand and that you would hope would quit. It's somebody that you've shared a bit of companionship with. All right, so guys, I was talking to my coworker. Her name was A. I'm not gonna say her name or anything. But I was talking to my coworker that I was really, really close with, not like I went over her house or talked to her over the phone or anything. It wasn't really like that, but it was more like I just talked to her when I was at work to kind of get her input about different things. So, me and A, we have the same manager. We shared a previous manager last year as well, too, but I met A when we were in training together. And A, she was, black like myself. She's African American just like me. And there was another girl in the class too that was black, R. And she was cool too. I got along more with, I think, R, because R and I kind of sat closer together. So, we kind of was cool. I think when we got out of training, though, I noticed that R and A, they were both kind of together. They were, close and stuff. And they were able to bond because they both had kids. R, she had, I think, two kids. And I think, like, A, she had a couple of kids herself. And they were different ages and stuff, too. But what happened with R was she was under, like, she was never under the same manager as me and A were. She just was under a manager, and then she started being bullied and harassed by the manager, and then eventually R was fired, and so that kind of just left me and A. Me and A, we had the same manager and stuff like that, and we got along good and stuff like that. We used to sit close together and stuff, but with the seating arrangement, we kind of moved around and stuff like that. So this year we were, not this year, but last year in 2020, I think this was around the time, like, when COVID was announced, like around March, I would say March, when COVID, was more well-known and stuff like that. I had a feeling that things were going to kind of change. So me and a lot of other people at my job were told that we had to work from home and stuff like that. I was so glad I moved into a new house because, that would allow me to do my job and things like that. More so than living in the apartment me and my fiance were in. We really couldn't stand it or anything like that. I have videos, I believe, about the experience with the apartment and stuff. So I'm not really going to talk about that here. If you want to, you can either look on my channel for videos about living in the apartment, or you can go to my fiance's channel, and One Year Hero. You can go to his channel, and we kind of talk about our experience with the apartments and everything like that. So you can definitely look on my channel or my fiance's channel, and One Year Hero's his channel. So me and A, we were kind of switched under the same manager. So at first we had a white guy as our manager. His name was Michael. So he was pretty cool, our first manager together. And then me and her were kind of switched to another manager, which was like a black chick that had been working at our job and stuff like that. So her name is Cynthia. And so basically what happened with her is that I'm not gonna sit under these birds because I'm not gonna sit on these birdies. Now I gotta sit under the birds because I don't trust the birdies. I really don't trust the birds. Sorry guys, I don't trust these birds. If you can see up there, there's some birds. There's one right here. And there's another bird right here. I'm not gonna really trust the birdies or anything. So I'm gonna kind of move up from over there because I don't want to get pooped on or anything like that. So I'm just gonna kind of move a little bit of ways. Kind of stand right here under this. Man, I was having such a good time chilling on the grass. But anyway, what happened is me and A, we were working from home because of COVID. And I think before, I moved before, like I started working from home and all that stuff. So it was pretty good. A and I, we've gotten along. I kind of stopped talking to her when her and A were kind of bonded over having kids and stuff. I was kind of like, and I was going through my own stuff with the job and stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'll just do my thing. One thing me and A did bond over is we bond over the fact, and I guess I'll give her a name. It's a little bit easier. Me and Alicia, we bonded over, the new manager, how she wasn't treating us right. And, she kind of was able to tell, when the manager was on like a tirade and stuff like that, sending her emails and stuff. And me and Alicia, we bonded over that, and I was like, you know what, this is cool, me and A, this is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? This is pretty awesome with me and Alicia. So, Alicia and I, it was just really great, to just have Alicia, as a confidant, somebody I can talk to. I didn't tell her like all the deepness of my stuff, just work stuff. So, Alicia, what happened with Alicia is, Alicia, I noticed Alicia was, she had FMLA. I'm not sure. I think she had like some kind of health concern. Alicia had been at the job for quite a while. I think they said she was there for I think this was like her 10th year or something. So Alicia, I was talking to her a couple weeks ago. And I was telling Alicia, I was like, hey, did you put in for the shift bid? She was like, shift bid? I was like, yeah, and, basically the shift bid is where you get all these different shifts and you tell your job which shifts that you can work. So I thought, since Alicia did the last shift bid, that this time that, she would, be doing the shift bid this time. So what happened is that, hang on just a second, guys. That didn't even get anywhere. That didn't even get anywhere. So what happened, guys, is that I was talking to Alicia a couple weeks ago, and I was sure that she already put in her, shift bid when she can work and stuff like that. I know the last shift bid, Alicia told me, she was like, well, she wanted the 7 to 3:30 shift and stuff like that, and they worked really well for her. And so I was like, awesome, okay, cool, Alicia. So last shift bid, I wasn't really knowledgeable about. I thought I didn't have to do it because the previous manager told me and stuff like that. Situation with that. But anyway, so what happened is, Alicia told me, she said, I asked her, I said, hey, Alicia, did you put in your shift bid? She was like, no, I'm not putting in a shift bid. And I was like, hey, did something happen? And she was like, oh, no, nothing happened. And I was like, seriously, nothing happened? She was like, yeah. I was like, hey, did you get a new job? Because that's what I was thinking. She get a new job. Is that why she was, I was going to wonder if that's why she didn't put in a shift bid, because she got a new job. Alicia had been talking to me about how, she wanted to get a new job and stuff like that and things. So I was thinking, oh, okay, Alicia, you got it. Well, what ended up happening is Alicia told me, after I didn't say if she got a job, she said, well, I'm leaving. And I was like, what do you mean you're leaving? And she was like, I just can't do the job. It's really stressful and stuff like that, and I just can't do it anymore. And she was asking me, I didn't say anything. She's like, well, isn't it stressful to you? And I said, yeah, it is, but I just try to think of the good things. That's really what I try to do, instead of thinking about the bad things. She said she couldn't do it. She said, nah, not me. And so, I was kind of shocked. This was like, she told me this is about maybe like 10 or 11, that she told me this. And I was like, dang. So my fiance was at home and I was talking to him and I said, he was at home and stuff. And I told him, I said, hey, this girl that I work with, Alicia, she's going to be leaving. She said she's so stressed out from job and stuff that she can't do it. And my fiance was like, oh, really? And I said, yeah. I'm like, dang, that makes me the last person from my training class to be there. You know what I mean? And so I was like, dang, this is crazy. So, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm just thinking like, okay. So, I can kind of run through the list of different people that I was in training with and why they left the job and stuff. So, first guy that I think left, so there's this guy in our class named Kevin. Kevin, he, went through training and stuff, and, I thought he was going to be staying there for a while. What happened with Kevin, he had something going on with his dad. I don't know if his dad was sick or something like that, but his dad, for whatever reason, was having some problems. And so he ended up leaving the job. I remember there was a manager who was asking, is there anything that they can do to kind of keep him there? And he was like, no, I'm going to try to handle it myself. He didn't say he was going to quit or anything, but I guess he did end up doing it because I didn't see him after that. So, next person to leave, because there were 7 people in our training class. So, Kevin was first to leave. Then, after that, there was this girl, Veronica. Veronica, she ended up leaving because her mother had passed away. And she just couldn't do the job because she was stressed out. And she couldn't put her attention on the job like she wanted to. So she ended up leaving. And what I really feel like is Veronica ended up just saving up the money she had. And then, she just ended up quitting, And it makes sense. I mean, if you lose a parent, it makes so much sense to leave a job because you have to get your head together and you really have to be able to do that. Because I've been in different jobs where I've known people, they've lost parents and stuff. And for some people, what they decide to do is quit because they can't manage a stressful job on top of losing a parent and everything else is happening. So I think Veronica was right to do what she did. I think because Veronica was Caucasian and white, I think the fact that she was there, I think that maybe it would have made it easier for her to get something else when the time was, right for her to do it, because most black girls I know, they won't quit a job, a decent job and stuff like that we're working. They won't do that, So I think maybe there was a privilege to her, what I'm saying? I understand her experience, with her mom passing away, and, I get how it can be difficult. When I had my last job that I was working part-time, I didn't quit my job because my mom passed away because I knew that I had to keep money coming in. And so that's why I ended up quitting and stuff like that. Maybe she had support, what I'm saying? Maybe she had got something from her mom, like money from her mom, so she wouldn't have to work for a while. So, I hope that's the case with her, I think I was talking to her like the last day she was there, and like I think I was just having a casual conversation with her, and after that I didn't see her no more. Next person to leave, there was this guy that was there. There was this guy, I didn't see him. His name was Nick. Nick, when we was in training, he was pretty much a smart aleck, trying to make people in the class feel stupid. I was one of the people who did that too. And, after I got out of training, I didn't really do a lot of talking to him or anything like that. But what happened is I saw him for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? He worked on the other side of the office, and he worked on his, manager and stuff. And what happened is I heard about him doing all this different stuff, but yet he was still there. I was surprised in training they still let him work there. I was really surprised. I was like, why the hell is he still working here? You know what I mean? So I was really surprised with that. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, I thought that it was crazy that he was still able to get away with so much stuff. But what happened is one day I didn't see him, and I was kind of thinking maybe he was on vacation or maybe he moved to another division of the company or something. But I ended up finding out from Alicia that, he was fired. Well, he was fired or whatever and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's like 3 people from my training class gone, right? So fourth person was this guy named Darren. Darren was in training with me. Darren, I feel like, was from like another country or something. And Darren, I've seen from my eyes, Darren was came back to work, and I seen his manager talking to him, and he said that his friend had passed away and stuff, and his friend was like family to him, and so he wanted to take the 2 weeks off for the funeral of his friend and stuff like that, and still keep the job. And what happened is I saw his manager say, well, Darren, you can't do that. It has to be for close family and stuff like that. It doesn't work for friends. And, he seemed like he was really insulted by what she said and stuff. You know what I mean? And the manager was like, well, you're going to have to use your paid time off for that, since you be gone and stuff like that. And I guess Darren was so upset, but he kept working. But after a while, I didn't see Darren. And I was like, And I guess Darren had quit or something like that because he just felt so insulted by it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's different. It's different when you're from another place and, you have a different way of life and stuff, and you feel that your friend, you should get the funeral benefits for a friend in the U.S., but you're not from here. I understand Darren, though. I get what he's saying because in his culture, it's very different. You know what I mean? It's not his culture. Friends and other people outside his family are, close to him. And he was really close with the friend. And I can understand how he may not get along with his parents or aunts, uncles, whatever, but he might have that special bond with his friend and stuff. And his friend passing away just was something he couldn't deal with, and I can get that. I understand it fully. So, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I know in my family, there's people I'm not close to, in my family. And, I can understand how maybe a friend can be closer than your family. I totally get that. When I was in college, I had this friend, still friends with her, but me and my friend, we was really close. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to her about personal stuff, but me and her would eat lunch every day and talk about this, that, whatever, and we were close. You know what I'm saying? So I see how that could be something that can happen. And for Darren, I'm sorry that happens to Darren because that friend, that one person's close to him. I'm close to my fiance. You know what I'm saying? And with him, my fiance, I can talk to my fiance about anything. It's like we're friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he's my best friend, but he's somebody that I can vibe with, and he's not a part of my family and stuff where, he's going to feel offended that I can find this person more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That can happen with families. But I understand Darren. You know what I'm saying? And I hope, Darren, somewhere out there, I hope he has a decent job and he's able to keep going. And I hope he has another friend who he can confide in and, continue to help him, with his walk through life. Friends don't last forever. Sometimes you're friends for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, like my mom used to say. So, I just hope Darren's doing well wherever he is. I hope everybody who's gone from the job is doing well wherever they are. So, after that, Darren was like the 4th person to leave. And then, I think Darren's the number 4. So, after Darren, After Darren, let me think of who else was there. Who else? Hang on. Let me see who else it would be. I'm not trying to have music in the video or anything like that, so I'm just trying to have you guys focus on me. Some lady pulled up or something, so I'm just going to the back so I can kind of focus and stuff. So, some black chicks kind of showed up, so I'm not trying to have her rap music and all that stuff involved and stuff. I'm just not trying to do that. I'm just going to go to the back so I can kind of keep you guys engaged. So, Darren was the last person to go, leave. And then after Darren, I found out about this girl. I'm going to say her name was Ray Ray. Ray, or I'm going to say Rihanna, her actual name. Rihanna, I found out that Rihanna had gotten fired because she had asked the manager for accommodating shift because she had children and she had to take care of her kids. And so what happened is that Rihanna, she was just trying to get a good shift, but it seemed like the managers was bullying and harassing her. So she ended up getting fired. The good thing is she gets unemployment, at least, because, at least that helps her. You know what I mean? So that's like the fifth person who was, forced to leave the job. It's not like she wanted to, because she tried, but she was the type of person who was late to work and stuff and things. So I guess I can see how that might be a thing. But she ended up not being there. And I found out from Alicia that this happened. You know what I'm saying? And then that leaves two people. That leaves Alicia and me. Last two people are part of the training class. So Alicia, like I was telling you guys before, Alicia recently told me that she was going to be leaving the job because she couldn't do the job. She was stressed out. And I think it was probably aggravating her health condition. So that's probably why she's, leaving and stuff. Alicia told me that her husband has a business and stuff. And she really doesn't even have to work, but she's just working, just to help out and stuff. But I feel like, maybe COVID has been something that's kind of agitated things for Alicia. So I think that's kind of one of the things that maybe has agitated it. Alicia is going to be probably the sixth person to leave. Alicia, she hasn't left just yet, you know what I mean? But I'm really going to kind of miss her when she's gone. To hear from Alicia that she's leaving, it sucks, because that leaves me as the last person in the training class, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself. But, I really like talking to her. She told me about things because she's been there for a while. She's been there at least 10 years and stuff. So, I feel like, wow, she's pretty amazing, and I was really appreciated the information that she told me. I thought that the information that she said has been helpful, and it's just made things a bit easier for me. So that's why I really appreciate Alicia like that. And she said she's leaving. She says she's leaving towards the end of this month, and then she's going to be done with it. One thing I can say from my standpoint is that if you have a household to support, just because a coworker is leaving doesn't mean that you have to leave. It doesn't mean that. If you see a lot of people that you're in training with and they leave, if that's the case, what you can do is, you can kind of watch people leave. I know it's sad if everybody's really close to you, but, if you have a household, you have to support your household. If you're in a relationship and you're living with somebody, if you are married, have kids, or let's say you're just a single parent and you have kids, you have bills to pay, you know what I mean? You have finances that you have to keep going with, you know what I mean? And because you have finances, you can't just leave because somebody else left. Now, what I will tell you is that if somebody leaves from the job that you have, what I'm going to tell you is this. If that person leaves, what you can do is, if you're down to kind of final person, right? And you've been there for a while, maybe going on 2 years. If you've been in the job for a while, you've been there a couple years or a year or so, what you can do is you can start looking for another job somewhere else to try to, work and stuff. Right now, I have FMLA with my dad, so I'm able to try to help him out so many times, out of the week and stuff, and it's helpful. With the ship I don't really like my schedule changing, but for my dad, I'm gonna try to keep stuff going, just so I can help him out, because he's gonna be moving and stuff. So, and I'm in a relationship, and I moved into a house last year, so I'm trying to keep things going for me and my fiance. You know what I'm saying? I've been through jobs, and I was kind of sad to see people go, because if you're close to somebody, it's so hard, to not see them there anymore. And you kind of have to function by yourself. But sometimes that is what it takes. Sometimes it takes for somebody you're close to in a job to leave, for you to say, you know what, it's time for me to think about leaving the job and doing something else. That's something you can do. Right now, Alicia, she's still in the job with me. So because of that, I'm keep working and stuff. But I am starting to think more about what's going on with seeing people leave. And I'm thinking like, okay, I think last year I was like, well, at least Alicia's here. At least we can still talk, and stuff about work and what strategies to go through. Right now, I'm going to be the last person, right? And so I'm pretty sure my manager, I think there was a guy that worked on my team, and he left. He left. I think a few people have left the team. You know what I mean? I think they left. And, I didn't really talk to him, so I didn't really notice. But I'm noticing people are leaving the job, And for me, it kind of makes me think, okay, well, you know what? Either one thing I can do is I can kind of switch to something else. Maybe I can switch to a different division or something. Or maybe I can just do something else, because I'm like, it doesn't seem too comfortable. It really doesn't seem like that. But that's okay. I'm okay with it. I don't have to kind of follow what their same thing as everybody else is doing. But what I can say, though, is Alicia is a big inspiration. And one thing I told her a couple weeks ago, we were having a conversation. I said, Alicia, look, if you have to leave, I said, Alicia, if you have to leave, it's okay. You'll find something better for you. Once you leave, you'll find something. You don't have to stay in this situation. You can do something else. You can definitely do something else. And she was like, thank you. And I was like, it kind of ended our conversation. I haven't talked to Alicia. Alicia's been gone. I think she's kind of using her PTO. She's using the rest of her PTO, because I guess she tried working and stuff, but she just couldn't deal with it. So at this point, I'm going to miss Alicia. I'm really going to miss her, and talking to her and stuff. And one thing I can say is this right here is that what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to figure out what I want to do, what kind of career I want to go into, because maybe that's better for me than waiting around and things. That's what I was kind of doing. I was like, but I'm still going to eat. You know what I mean? But that's not the only thing. I've seen so many people leave, and I'm thinking right now, I can probably stay at the company, just in a different job. At least if I stay in a different job, at least something I can do is I ain't got to stay in the same division. But one thing I can do is I can at least something I can do is that I can think about other opportunities. And I'm going to talk to my fiance and stuff about what to do. If you're in a situation where somebody's leaving the job that you're at and they're a close friend, one thing that you can do, if it's not a good job, is don't say anything about anybody leaving. Don't tell managers or anybody else. Don't say it in a group email. Don't do that. What you can do is just keep it to yourself. If you have a significant other, you can tell them. But don't tell anybody. Don't say anything. Because that coworker of yours can end up being fired or terminated and they can't get an unemployment. And what you want to do is you just want to keep the secret for them. And they trust you enough not to say nothing. So, if they've already put in their 2 weeks notice, just keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. And if a whole bunch of people have left, it's a good idea for you to start looking for something yourself so that, you can have a new, different job. And maybe you can stay in that new job. Maybe that's something you can do. There's a little bunny. You guys see that bunny? There he is. There's a little bunny. Little BB. But keep your mouth shut if you know somebody's leaving. Start looking for another job if you feel like you need to. Start looking for another job. If you're okay with the company, you can stay. If you don't like it, you can start looking. Don't make any plans right away. Just, give yourself maybe a month and let's say you decide, okay, I'm going to start looking for a job in 2 weeks or a month or something like that, right? Don't quit. Just because you're leaving, don't quit. Stay in the job, keep paying your bills, pay for your finances and stuff like that. Keep doing that. That's a really important thing. Keep doing that. Don't just quit or resign or anything like that. Because when you go to your next job, they're going to ask you, they're going to ask you, why did you leave? And then when they ask you, why did you leave? You might say, oh, I left because, one of my coworkers left and stuff like that. And I left because one of my coworkers left and things like that. You guys see the bunny? It's a cute little bunny. Little BB. I think he's a little hungry. But don't quit. If the job fires you, that's okay. At least you can collect your unemployment. At least you can have that coming in while you're gone from the job. At least you can do that. Let me think of what's another thing to do. What I'd suggest is if you have any inhibitions against the job, what you can definitely do is you can just, keep them to yourself. You can vent them to your, loved ones or something like that. You can do that with your friends, but, not somebody who's in the job like you are, okay? So, keep your inhibitions to yourself. If you're being harassed by a manager, like what I did last year, is I just took off. I didn't have any inhibitions about it. I just took off. You know what I mean? So, take off. That can help. Don't quit. Don't talk to your manager or try to, kiss up to your manager. Don't do that either. Just keep being the same person you've been. Like with my dad, I'm the same person. I be telling managers, hey, my dad, he's not feeling well or this and that other, and I just kind of keep it there. I don't go any further. My dad's getting treatment, and I just kind of keep the same role. I don't change it, nothing.